Please start, please start, please start. Oh, beautiful. Bish bash bosh. Hello, it is I. Last wee bits with the cattle and then snap my fingers and we're in New Zealand. You beauty. I think I can put enough bedding in for 3 weeks. Dad is here right now, unnetting some bales there. Just showing him all what the cattle need while I'm away. Here's my cows, and I'm about to say goodbye to my cows. My sweet, sweet cows. Hope they're still in good nick when I come back. They will be. Just some last minute jobs before Vamos. We're off to the airport. Let's swap a cattle shed in Scotland for a cattle shed in New Zealand. Oh, there's no cattle. We'll maybe see cattle later. Cheers. Too hot. This flight's been 16 hours. Man on the porch singing baritone. 10-line leads to that Jenny plays between cotton and stone cold face. Hello. You join us in what looks like Highland Scotland. It is in fact New Zealand. We have been kindly invited to visit Tullymore Farm, which sounds very Scottish, where Jen and Neil are share milk farming 400 dairy cows. How share milk farming works is you have the owners of the cattle and technically the farmers. So Jen and Neil own their 400 cows, they own the machinery. The owners of the farm obviously provide the land, the infrastructure in terms of shed, housing. They pay for all fertilisers that isn't nitrogen. Nitrogen is classed as a feed, so the farmer pays for that. And then there's a few other nuances in there which all change under various different contracts. Similar to a tenancy setup at home, but this setup is purely a 50-50% profit split after all the costs associated that I've just shown you the split of. So we're joining Jen, Neil and their wee boy Aidan on their 50-50 share milk agreement farm where they have 400 cows over 177 hectares of grassland in the region of Waikato in the North Island of New Zealand. Thank you very much for them inviting us to see what they do. We join us just after a morning milking and I'll give you a wee spin round and show you the area. It's very interesting. I learn a lot and I hope you learn a wee bit as well. They're just finishing up their milking for the morning. 40 a side parlour. The intensity of how dairy cattle are down out here is done on a scale of like 1 to 5. 5 being like real intensive to get loads of feed totally inside and 1 being just grazing only. These guys run at about a 3, so somewhere in the middle. The herd is split into 2 batches, younger cows, older cows. So first thing in the morning, 5:30, the older cows come in here to eat some grub. The younger cows head into the parlour to get milked. They then head back out to grass after milking, and then the older cows that have just had some grub, they go up and get milked, and then they head out. And then in the afternoon they switch around, so the younger stock come in to get their grub for the day. Old cows head in there first, get milked, then the young ones come up and they get milked, and then they all head back out. And that's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they all come in to get milked in the afternoon, and it's 5:30 they start milking in the morning. So they're probably out about 4:30, 5 to get a start in the morning, to get the cows in here. They have a milker help them 4 days a week. Otherwise it's just Jen and Neil that are milking every day, 400 cows. That's a chunk of cows to get through. Here comes a tanker. They love a dolly. Every single lorry I've seen, whether it's tankers or just normal lorries, they've all got a dolly. At the moment they're producing 8,500-ish litres in the moment, so tanker's in to collect that. Hey Pooch, they had a mess up this morning. They had a tanker arrive at 5:30, but the milk wasn't ready for them. All outdoors, just the parlour's under a lean-to. Oh, it's bliss, it's really nice. How long will that run for? 5 minutes. Jen and Neil moved out to New Zealand 12 years ago full time. They started just as apprentices, effectively, right at the bottom. They had to get themselves up to basically managerial level to be able to get visas sorted out, to be able to kind of full-time commit to New Zealand. So they got themselves there. Then 5 years ago they moved here to Share Milk Farm and take on their own cows. They took a loan out from the bank. There was a farmer retired, sold his whole herd, so they took on 280 cows from that herd. Then they got another 70 from another herd, so that got them a start at 350, and then they're up to kind of 400 over 177 hectares here. It's amazing. It's split into 94-ish fields, of which at the lowest yielding time of year they'll be using 90 of the fields in rotation. So every 90 days cows are back in a single field, and then they graze it for a day and on to the next. And then at the peak of grass production, so springtime, 17 days until cows are back into the same field. So that's when they need to obviously produce more silage to get rid of all the excess grass to make silage. They used to grow a bit of maize, but they've kind of slowly dropped that over the years as they've used the grass for cow numbers. And so they buy in all the maize, so you buy off of a dry matter price. I think they're buying in about 350 tonnes of dry matter worth. So they agree a contract price per tonne for that dry matter. That secures them their maize feeding. They're producing a bit of silage throughout the year. They just did a bit of Christmas there because they had excess grass.
Cold Danny couldn't deal with the dealer that he met out at the Rivers Casino. He got caught counting cards, and then spades broke his heart. Then the Point Breeze boys broke his nose. Heard Mary got that job that she wanted out of town. She was better than the sum of all of us anyhow. She still stops by whenever she can. She's tougher than my brother with the ball left hand. Red hot American night. Shake your body off on a coastline. Wet hot American night.
This time of year in the summer they can be getting a bit dry, so they're kind of quite thankful if rain comes. They could do with a big heavy bout of rain. They grow some turnips which they strip graze. I've learned so much about dairy farming here. But just a quick thank you to Jen and Neil, and their wee boy Aidan hosted us for the night and given us a tour last night. It's been absolutely great. It's amazing how much they've been able to do, and they've been here 12 years and they've got 400 of their own cows block here, and yeah, they seem to be getting on well. I think milk prices have been good for the 5 years since they've been 50-50 share milk farming. Good luck to them over the next few years, and maybe we'll be back here to see what they're doing in another 5 years' time. There's the boss. There's the boss, I was saying. Hey, boy.
Hello?
Each year, 20 to 30 fattening cattle are bought in at about 400 kilos just to graze the steepest of the ground, keep everything a bit tidy. They will be finished at about 600 kilos, and all they will have eaten is kind of scrub grass off of the worst bits. A couple of other bits of information that I forgot to film, and I'm filming right now. The way Jen and Neil operate is they calve all their cows at once. So what they do is a block of AI at the very start, then they run some bulls for about 10 days, and then they do another block of AI at the end just to tidy the last of the stragglers up. It means they are very busy come calving time, and obviously prior to that and at the start of calving they are not milking any cows. The last few animals that are needing still to be AI'd, they were doing some today, this morning while we were there. They've got a few local kind of technicians as such. I don't think they're officially vets, but they come in, they can AI a few at the tail end of bulling period. So give it 9 months until the big push for calving. It's quite a lot of cows to calve, isn't it? Just the two of them.
Frank's doing 4 times as much with me.
Put me to shame. With you. I'll do 350. So they're bull calves. After 4 days they head off of farm. They're heifer calves, so they keep their own replacements. So what they do, it's quite interesting, in New Zealand you're allowed to keep 22% of your own herd as replacements. So the heifers they want to keep, they don't keep them on farm themselves. There's farms that they can put them away to, and they will go there and they basically pay, I don't know if it's a fee per day or per animal until they return, and they return in calf. So they take them for about 2 years or so, and when the heifers come back, they are in calf, ready to calf heifers, and then they'll go into their first lactation cycle to join the dairy herd. So did she get AI this morning?
American boys are a friend of mine. Del Cold Danny cutting deal with a dealer that he met out at the Rivers Casino. He got caught counting cards and then spades broke his heart. Then the Point Breeze boys broke his nose. Heard Mary got that job that she wanted out of town. She was better than the sum of all of us anyhow. She still stops by whenever she can. She's tougher than my brother with the ball left hand. Wet, hot American night. Shake your body off on a coastline. Wet, hot American night. We snuck our folks to the shore and drank a bottle of